Helldivers were congratulated over the weekend for their valiant efforts in overcoming the Automatons to complete Operation Swift Disassembly, eradicating the bots and, in the dev's own words, causing the galaxy to be free once more. To say Helldivers stepped up to the mark and showed out in their numbers would be an understatement, so much so that the devs had to plead with players to let the game rest, as over 230,000 players dove in to try and end the Automatons once and for all. The Major Order tasked players with liberating 3 planets, Tibet, Maya and Durgan, which seemed like an impossible task at first, but somehow the player base has made light work of the Automatons on the first 2 planets, leaving only Durgan left to be liberated. But following over 230,000 Helldivers joining the fight, the game started experiencing frequent crashes, putting the success of the Major Order at risk. This led to a community manager, Twinbeard, taking to the game's official Discord to release this statement, saying a hotfix for the crashes is coming, hang in there or perhaps let the game rest for a while. I feel you and glad to hear you love the game, but it'll be here waiting even if you let democracy lie for a few days. Players didn't take to this message very kindly, even suspecting that it may have been posted under the order of Game Master Joel to try and stop them from completing the task. Immediately, players began working even harder in their battle to liberate Durgan, and the hard work has clearly paid off, as the official Helldivers Twitter account posted this image to celebrate the players' success in completing the Major Order. While the battle was won, the war certainly isn't over, as the Major Order introduced some quite frankly terrifying new enemies into the Automaton faction. Gunships and factory striders were absolutely destroying Helldivers playing at the harder difficulties, and while they're still extremely rare to come across in the game, a select few unlucky players had the unfortunate task of trying to liberate Durgan while fighting off these new mech types. The gunships were the first sighted enemy to rain down fire from the skies, and the only way to stop them respawning was to take out the gunship fabricators that accompanied them. But one enemy type in particular was causing absolute carnage among the Helldivers: the factory striders. These huge raid bosses are a nightmare and require solid teamwork, a lot of firepower and a bit of luck to take them down. These huge bosses are really sighted, and as of right now, only seem to be spawning for those players that dare to play the game at level 7 difficulty and up. Not only are the walking 80-80 type mechs massive, but they don't really have any obvious weak points for you to capitalize on, and will require you to literally throw everything you have at them, specifically the orbital lasers and Eagle 500 kg bombs multiple times just to stand a chance of taking these mammoths down. And the addition of these new mech types isn't the only thing for players to worry about, as an illegal broadcast from the Automaton leader has begun appearing in-game, with players working hard to try and decipher the message to work out what dangers the devs have in store for us very soon. Despite the devs congratulating us on completely wiping out the Automatons as per the last Major Order, players aren't out in the streets celebrating. Actually, it's quite the opposite, as the ominous lack of any Automaton presence on any part of the map is eerily striking fear into even the most seasoned Helldivers. The most obvious choice to us at GG Recon seems to be the return of the Cyborgs, the original robot faction from the OG game, which many fans believe is the origin of the Automatons themselves. Players have been intercepting comms in-game from Automatons mentioning an operation known as the Reclamation, with the op name clearly hinting at the bot faction taking something back, and the locations of the last Major Order heavily hinted towards the Automatons trying to reach and reclaim planet Cyberstan, which is where the Cyborgs originated from. Could it be that in ridding the Automatons from Super Earth, we have actually allowed for the Cyborgs to make a comeback and reclaim the Automatons region? Or could it be that by freeing up this map space, it allows for a completely new faction to find a new home? I mean, if the latter is true, the perfect choice would be for the alien faction known as the Illuminate to make its debut into the game, a group of highly sophisticated and intelligent alien species that use advanced technology to cause endless headaches to Helldivers. Either way, I think it's a safe assumption that this isn't the end of the Automatons, and that there won't be peace, love and democracy all across Super Earth for long. Enjoy the respite while you can, as no doubt Game Master Joel will have something horrendous up his sleeve to drop on us when we least expect it. And while you're waiting for whatever master plan is put in place to unravel, YouTube's algorithm has carefully selected a video just for you, so why not check it out and give it a watch?